Welcome our viewers once again. It's Isaac Nyirimbibi. Today I've come to share with you how to make JIK. Recently we have been going through making different detergents. We have seen how to make bar soap. We can now make liquid soap. And today I want us to go through how to make JIK. So today I'm with a number of learners who are also be taking part in this session as we go through how to make JIK. For those who have not subscribed to our channel, click on that notification button and share with friends so that they can always benefit from whatever we discuss. So today I'm going to first take us through the materials needed and their importance. The materials needed in making JIK. Today we are going to make 30 liters of JIK, and for us to make 30 liters of JIK, we need this salt. It's called Magadi salt. What's another name for Magadi salt? Trona. Another name to mean Magadi salt is Trona. Now, Magadi came from, this is salt which is mined in Kenya. They are from Lake Magadi, and that's where we got, they got this name called Magadi salt. We need 1 kilogram of Magadi salt. Then number 2, we need what you call STP. What is STP in full? Okay, sodium tripolyphosphate. So this is sodium tripolyphosphate, and this is a quarter. That is 0.5 kilogram, 0.25 kilograms of STP. Then another ingredient, we need caustic soda. I believe in a recent videos we have shared, we have been talking about caustic soda. Another name of caustic soda is what? Lime, or we can also call it sodium hydroxide. So this is industrial sodium hydroxide, or what you're calling caustic soda, and we need just 0.5 kilograms of caustic soda. Another one, we need chlorine. Chlorine, this is a common bleaching agent, but also we know that chlorine is used for killing germs, especially when you're looking at water treatment. So this is chlorine, also 0.5 grams of chlorine. Now, what's the importance of all these materials that we are using? Now, when you look at chlorine and caustic soda, when we mix these two, they react to form a product called what? Hypochlorite. So the hypochlorite, it forms that compound is the one which acts as a bleaching agent, which helps in removing the stains on our cloth or the stains on the surface where it is. That is maybe like on a white surface. So this is the caustic soda, the chlorine, which have that work for bleaching agent. Then we have the STP. We said STP is used for? STP is used for what? It works as a stabilizer. So STP works as a stabilizer, and also it helps in balancing the pH in the solution. So that is the work of the Magadi and also the work of STP. They are all helping in stabilizing and also balancing the pH of the solution. Now, today we want to see how we can use all these ingredients to make our JIK. So we need 3 buckets. Right here we have the first bucket. I believe these buckets we can get them from wherever we are. If you don't have a bucket, just use any other container which can accommodate 5 liters. So these are 3 buckets. You can use basins if you're there at home and you don't have such buckets. We say that 1 bucket, when we fill it with water, it has how many liters?
10 liters.
It has 10 liters. But we need only 5 liters in each bucket. So I request one person to come and pour for us. Because at home you don't have measuring cylinders. Since we don't have measuring cylinders, we can use these buckets for measurements. So we can get our water. This is our clean water, which we are going to use. So we are going to put half of this water in this bucket, half here and half here. Those are 5 liters per bucket. And thereafter, we shall be seeing what you're going to be dissolving in each bucket. Let's be faster. So in that first bucket, we are putting 5 liters. Now, when you put 5 liters, we shall be dissolving the STP and Magadi salt in the 5 liters. You just use your eyes to balance. You can see that this is a half of this bucket, which makes 5 liters. Okay, you can have this. Again, there we need half of this bucket. That is half. Okay, good. And then you can extend this side so that you can see what is going on. Let's put half. So what you are doing is putting half, filling this bucket about half level, and we said that makes 5 liters. So you have the first bucket, 5 liters, the second bucket, 5 liters, and the third bucket, 5 liters. Since we are dealing with chemicals, we need to put on safety gears. You can see I've put on gloves, but I also have a lab coat. All these are to help in prevention of different risks that may come along when you're making all this. Because we're dealing with chemicals, we know very well that this caustic soda is corrosive, and therefore when it powers on your body, it can easily cause some burns. That's why we need to make sure that you have gloves. So in one bucket, these are 5 liters. We are going to pour this caustic soda. We are going to dissolve the caustic soda in the first bucket. We are going to have caustic soda. Okay, let me have one person come and dissolve this. So we have caustic soda. Let's have another person. Now let's have the lady who is going to come and mix for us this one. Okay, for you, you mix for us another one. Okay, Christopher, dissolve for us that. So what you're doing here is dissolving the 0.5 kilograms of caustic soda. So we just dissolve. We know that caustic soda is, when you dissolve it in water, it is ectothermic. Ectothermic meaning that it produces some heat. So when you touch alongside here, can I have one person? Any other girl? Any other person? What do you feel?
Heat.
There is
Heat.
So the bucket is warm, meaning there's some heat that has been released. So we are going to dissolve this, and we shall be keeping these solutions for 24 hours. So after 24 hours, we shall be coming back, and then we continue with the next step. So as it's dissolving, let's have another person work on chlorine. So this is chlorine. So we're going to dissolve chlorine in 5 liters. We have put 5 liters in this bucket, and we are going to again dissolve this chlorine in the 5 liters. I think that is enough. You can leave the stick there. So we have chlorine. We are also going to dissolve it in the 5 liters. Okay, so we are going to have one person dissolve that. I can keep stirring. So as they are continuing with that, now we are remaining with 2 chemicals. We call here we have caustic soda, and then here we have chlorine, and we remain with 2 chemicals. That is our STP and the Magadi salt. Now the Magadi salt and the STP, we said that these work as stabilizers, and also they help in balancing the pH. You know very well that JIK works very well in alkaline solution. That's why we involve this Magadi salt to balance the pH. So we are going to dissolve all this in one bucket. So we are going to have this in one bucket. This is the STP. That is our STP. After adding STP, we can also continue to add our magadi. We said that magadi we need 1 kilogram. 1 kilogram of magadi. So we can have this 1 kilogram of magadi. We are mixing the magadi with STP, and we say that STP is sodium tripolyphosphate. Sodium tripolyphosphate. So after having this, we can have another person come to work on this. Okay, you can go the other side, and then you dissolve also that. Let's leave it there. Stir from there. So at this point, they are just dissolving the two these chemicals. So what is happening there? Is it very sticky, very strong? What is happening?
It's very strong.
Okay, let me see.
No.
Okay. Initially it was somehow sticky, but you can see now it is dissolving slowly. Okay, you can keep on dissolving. So at this point, we have our caustic soda, 5 liters, dissolved in 5 liters, and we say that caustic soda, those are 0.5 kgs, that is a half kilogram. Then here we have a half kg of chlorine, and then in this bucket, we are having 2 things, the STP and then the magadi salt. All these have been dissolved in 5 liters, and we're going to keep these solutions for the next 24 hours. So tomorrow at this time, we shall be back to wind up with our process of making JIK. Let's meet tomorrow after 24 hours. Have a nice time.
Okay, now welcome. We are on our second phase. You know, yesterday we looked at the first process as we are mixing different solutions to make our JIK. These are 24 hours, and we are back again as usual. We are back again after 24 hours to see which solutions we have. So here we have our 3 buckets we had yesterday. Number 1 is this solution which has caustic soda. So we dissolved the 0.5 kilograms of caustic soda in 5 liters, and that is our solution we have. And we kept all these solutions for 24 hours. So right now it's after 24 hours, and we are back to complete our process for making JIK. So this is our chlorine, 0.5 kilograms, and we dissolved it in 5 liters of water. So you can see that is our solution for chlorine. That is solution for chlorine. And then here we have the one for caustic soda. Then we also have this solution for magadi salt, and this is magadi salt and STP. We say that STP, that is sodium tripolyphosphate. Those are 2 which help in stabilizing. So today we want to wind up with our process by mixing all the 3 solutions in one big bucket. So which means when you're making this, you need these small buckets plus 1 big bucket. I request one of you to bring a big jerry can for 20 liters, which is full. I believe it should be somewhere there. Let's bring it. So at this stage, we're going to mix all of this in one bucket. This is our magadi. We put in a big bucket. As I said, safety is very important. We have to make sure that we put on our safety gears. You can see I'm putting on the gloves such that we avoid any accidents or any risks that may occur during the mixing. So that is our solution for magadi and the STP. Then we are going to add the one for chlorine. This is chlorine. We also add, you can see how it is changing the color. Okay, good. Of course, don't forget that we are still with our learners who are continuing to follow us. But if you're there, you can see you're using the materials which we can access from our home. So after mixing these 2, we can now get our stirring rod. And we stir, and to have a uniform mixture. So you can stir. And stir to have uniform mixture. So after having a uniform mixture, we shall dilute this solution. You call this we had already 15 liters. We had 15 liters, which means we are just going to top up the remaining volume to make our 20 liters. We said you can dilute this to 30 liters depending on what you want. So you can dissolve it to 30 liters, but for us, we are going to make the one for 20 liters. Since we already have these 15 liters, we are just going to have more 5 liters. We say that this bucket, it can accommodate 10 liters. So I'm going to request one of our learners to put half. They're going to put half of this bucket so that we get the 5 liters. Then after, we pour here to dilute it to 20 liters volume. So let's put here 5 liters as I continue to stir. Yeah, so okay, that is enough. So you don't need measuring cylinders. You're at home, you want to make JIK, you don't need measuring cylinders. You can use these buckets. I believe you can access them anywhere, wherever we are, and you'll be able to use them for measuring. A full bucket, it weighs, it has 10 liters, and when you put half, we are able to get our 5 liters. So we already have 15 liters, and now we want to add more, such that it can add up to 20 liters. Okay, I believe we can see now our final product, how it looks like. So at this stage, we can say we have reached at our level. This is our JIK that we have, which can do the work that we want. But of course, we said we want to make 20 liters. So we're going to add up to these 5 liters we have here in the bucket. After adding those 5 liters, we can now continue to stir such that it can uniformly mix, and we have a complete mixture. So you can see now the color is white. Yeah, the color is white. Yet initially we didn't have this color. We had the one for chlorine solution, we had the one for caustic soda, and the one for STP and magadi. But you can see after mixing, the reaction has taken place, and we have our solution. And this solution we have is our JIK. Our JIK is ready. Can we get some bottles and something you can use to scoop the big? Okay, so now at this stage, we want to test our product. And here we have our stained cloth, which we are going to work upon. So we are going to be testing. Okay, let's leave it at that. So you can see, we want to see how our JIK, which we have made, whether it can remove this stain that we have put. This is a stain for iodine, and we want to see if we use our JIK, can it be able to remove the stain? Okay, let me have another person add here water. You add here water. So we are adding some water in that bucket, and then we test with our, okay. So when you are using, we can even first pour in the solution, or you can put where the stain is, and then you continue with the process. So, okay, at that point, so we can see how the stain looks like on our cloth. And now we want to add our JIK. We want to add our JIK. Then we try to wash. Okay. So at this stage, you can see, okay, that is nice. You can see our stains which were in the cloth are no more. They are no more, and our JIK is very ready for use. Okay, that is it. Otherwise, we want to appreciate all of you who have been watching right away from the beginning. It's been a wonderful session. We've been with a number of learners also going through this session. You know, as we said, this is teacher Isaac, a chemistry teacher. And one thing we are looking at is to help our learners attain different skills that they can apply them even when they're back at home. They can make such JIK and they make some money. They can attain a living at the end of it all. We have been able to make JIK later, which I'll be doing liquid soap, made easy. We're going to make it very well. We already have sessions about making bar soap. You can check on our channel so that you can always follow on whatever we are doing. Let's meet again in our next session. I've been with a number of learners. I believe they can say bye to us as we say bye. Hello. Okay. You can stop being loud.